Hey you guys, so I am so happy because I have finally figured out, I think, my setup here. It's 5:30 in the morning. I have my perfect chair. I have my perfect wall. Tried to figure out locations to shoot things and it just hasn't worked out the way I wanted to. Hey guys, okay, so I wanted to talk to you guys about the dangers of comparing yourself to other people, and this is just based on my personal experience, what I've observed in others, and how I think it can lead to negative thought processes as well, what I think can help people with their self-worth and their self-confidence. You know when you go to a magazine and you see like celebrities and they look all pretty and it's like, oh man, this person looks so glamorous. How come I don't look as good as them? How come I don't look like the person on this airbrushed cover? I think sometimes people focus on other people more than they focus on themselves. I find that if you look at a person and their life looks so perfect, you draw your focus, you take your focus away from you and you put it on them, and then you get the negative feeling and then you put it back on yourself. I was speaking to a person who had a lot of anxiety issues and they felt like, you know, they were unworthy, they felt they weren't beautiful, and I was mind blown because this person is so beautiful in my opinion. You know, she didn't feel that and it was just so bizarre to me. But what I realized is that sometimes like we can't see what others see in us. So my recommendation would be get away from all the magazines, get away from all those things that, quote, trigger you, and focus on what your image, what you want your image to be, and just be the best version of that image in your brain. The only person that I compare myself to is the person that I was yesterday. And I can tell you for a fact, the person that I am today is a better person than the one yesterday. If I have a bad day, then I know that at least tomorrow I'll have more awareness versus the person that I was yesterday. So I always see myself in a state of continual growth. I look forward to life every day. The other thing that I would recommend, that if you are feeling a little unworthy, you have to check yourself and say, like, what are you? It's easy for a person to say, I am this, I am that, I am negative, I am all these negative traits. And whenever I find out this stuff about people, it makes me really sad because there have been a number of people in my life where I've tried to communicate their value to them. I've tried to tell them things like, hey, no, you're not like that, you're like this. And as much as I try to convey and try to tell them, like, no, this is not true, you're not whatever you think you are in that negative light, sometimes people will hold on to it because they have this conditioning within themselves to say, well, if I was a loser back in high school, then I have to be a loser now. I've seen people where I've grown up with them and something happened to them about 6 years ago. They never really got over it. So whatever that circumstance was, time goes by. And I always think to myself now, you can either rise above your circumstance and you could say, yeah, at one point I was this person, but you don't have to be that person forever. You see, you can choose to be different each and every day. And every day, every moment that we're breathing, we have conscious choices to figure out what we allow in our brain. Do we allow negative thought, or do we allow positive thought? Do we have good habits, or do we have bad habits? Do I want to eat the chips, or do I want to put it down, and do I want to eat the almonds? All those little choices add up. But I think when we choose to focus on our negatives and only highlight the negatives, it is so bad for our mind, because if you have a negative thought, then you start having negative actions. And when you start having negative actions, then your life becomes even more negative. So for me, one of the things that helped me change a lot of my thoughts, is not only do I compare myself to the woman I was yesterday, I also think of myself as gold. So some people may laugh at this, especially people who may have insecurity issues. Erica, you're gold. You're not gold. Ask yourself, would you call yourself gold? And if you don't, most likely you have insecurity issues. And I don't like to say this is how a person always is. I know a number of people who have been in prison. And when they change their life around, I don't look at their time and I don't focus about the 15 years or so they were incarcerated. I focus on what they've done since then. And I encourage you guys to not let your past define who you are, because if you've made mistakes in life, so what? Just, you can't do anything about the past. You can only change things about the future. And lastly, I want to end it with this. When I wake up and when I look at myself in the mirror, I tell myself I am gold, because gold is valuable and gold is a malleable metal. It is the most malleable metal out there. And I think of the human spirit. It can be a rice paddy or it can be a slinky. And if you are a rice paddy and you are so rigid, you can end up breaking. But if you are resilient and you are malleable and you're open and tolerant to change, flexible, you can be basically anything, right? You just got to really put your mind to it. That's all. Some of you guys may be wondering, why am I doing basically a repeat of my previous video? What is the point of that? I encourage you guys to watch it if you want. I look like a potato, but the whole reason why I decided to reshoot that footage and release that footage, even though I knew it was subpar, is because in a community post, I had told you guys that I was going to redo that video and release it the next morning. I was only available to do it at night. I did not think about doing a setup like this at home. I just decided to film where I was. The low light was terrible. And after I did the editing, I thought, crap, it's not the greatest. And I'm on this time constraint. But I'm going to release it anyway, because I told you guys I would be releasing footage that morning. And I did, morning Hawaii time. So although it might be one of the worst videos that I've done in a while, that's what I think, editing wise, lighting wise, thumbnail wise, at the end of it, I was really proud of it, because I thought, well, that was a learning experience for me. And I'm going to keep that video up. So I'm going to link that video in the description in case you're curious, but this video will be the better version of it. And in the future, I know what to do now. You will see me do more videos probably like this, or at least the time being, unless I find a better, more convenient setup. I like it because I don't have to deal with the elements. Just on a side note, for my Atomic Habits video, I don't know if you guys picked it up, but it was raining. So when it was raining, I started getting more humidity in my hair, and I just started looking more and more. And I remember thinking to myself, like, man, Erica, you've done a bunch of takes on this, just release it. And that's the stuff you guys might not see on the back end, watch a YouTube video. That's why some people, they have studios rather than go outside. It's nice to go outside, but the lighting situation, elements can be a big factor. It can actually waste a lot of time. I've had to scrap about 3 videos because after I shoot it, like, I think while I'm shooting it, it's fine, but when I look back at it, it's not to the quality that I want it to be. And this video, even this video, I've had to reshoot this video behind this white wall twice, and I'm gonna have to do editing too. So this is not me complaining about stuff. It is me telling you guys, like, this is the process, how things are, and I'm okay with it, because at the end of it, even with me under the rain, even with me having that shoddy video lighting, I found my solution. And for you, if you guys are struggling in life, find your solution, whatever it is. Be open to change. Be malleable. Be gold. So that's all I wanted to say today, you guys. Oh, and let me know in the comment section what you guys think about my thoughts, or if you have any thoughts to share. If you think this lighting and the audio is good, I think I'm gonna keep the tripod exactly where it is and just mark it, so that way it's stationary. That way I know exactly what height to make it in the future. I don't want to have a permanent gimbal right here, but I could actually. But yeah, I don't think I need it. I think I'll just mark it and then I'll get it up to the line. Yeah, never mind. So yeah, just Erica thought process over here. See you guys later. You guys take care. See ya.